Yeah, everybody hear me good? Okay, perfect. Again, yes, this is interactive. I see you. You know what? I see all of you. I know it. Yeah, I see all of you. So we need to be in this together. So before we start with the best way for you guys to train at home, I want to share our vision. I want to share the movement and like an open invitation to each and every single one of you. So our goal here is to actively inspire people to be mentally stronger and physically stronger. Our saying is, together we are strong. We're constantly saying like, together we are strong, I need you, you need me, we all need each other. And that's why it's so important, that's why it's so important to interact with each other, go inside of the Facebook group, introduce yourself inside of the Facebook group. We're 800 people in there, 800 plus people inside of the Facebook group. Even if we are 14 people here now together, we have some people watching on Facebook over here. We have people in Facebook. Like, we're so many people. So the more we interact with each other, the more we all going to get out of it. All right. We all have different goals. Some of us have fat loss goals. Some of us have muscle gaining goals. Some of us wants to become better dancer, with more endurance and everything that's including there. Some of us wants to add bigger muscles, take away some muscles maybe. But we all have one thing in common, and that's growth. Growth is like the common denominator. So nobody is here to tell you that, no, you need to look like this or you need to look like that. And you're going to understand by the end of this presentation how I'm presenting how to train at home. And the topic of this... Yes,
Can you please increase the volume a little?
Yes, absolutely. See if I can speak louder. Thank you for letting me know. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
You hear me better now? Perfect. So thank you for letting me know. You need to understand that by the end of this conversation or by the end of everything, you are going to understand how you should train for you to reach your individual goals. I couldn't care less about your individual goals. I just want you to love yourself and be happy with who you are and how you look. I don't care if you want to look like a bodybuilder, or if you want to look like me, or if you want to look like, you want to look like The Rock, or you want to look like Britney Spears, or Beyonce, or Whitney Houston. That's up to you. Like that, I don't care. I want you to feel happy with yourself and to be glad that you are where you are in life, right? Thumbs up if that makes sense and if you're excited about this webinar. Perfect. I know there are some people now on Facebook. There are 6 people here watching on Facebook. I wasn't supposed to send this live on Facebook, but 2 people can't log in. So I think we're going to keep it there just for them. So we're going to do our best to multitask here. Anywho, write in the comments. Same with you guys on Facebook right now. Write in the comments, what do you want to get out of this Congress? What do you want to get out of this Congress? Because the more information I know, the more I can help each and every single one of you guys. What would you want to get out of it? Because again, I have a script for this, but the more I know, the more I can, like twist and turn it and make it different so we all can get the most out of it. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What is the number one thing you want to get out of this Congress? Oh, here we have Raj from New York. Wait, he signed up. I didn't even see him. Wait, is he here or here? Anyway, he's saying, I'm Raj from New York. I'm using the Calm app to meditate before bed because it always takes an hour or more for me to fall asleep. And 2 days in a row, I've fallen asleep within 10 to 15 minutes using the app. Best sleep ever. Yo, round of applause for that real quick. Round of applause for that real quick. Meditation has been a game changer for me as well. I think your name is Rouge. I hope you're safe. Congratulations on getting good night's sleep. I'm glad for you. And what you guys wanted to get out of the I'm waiting for you guys also here in the Facebook. Don't worry, I know you're here. We're 7 people now watching up there also. Knowledge about home training and meditation, mobility, better range of motion. Styling is hard for me sometimes because of my tight shoulders. Happy, motivated, let's go. Tips about nutrition and workout. I didn't saw the workout in for today yet. If you still haven't done today's workout, go inside of the Facebook group. We are Fit and Sensual. Hit the in the left corner. There's something called units. In units, you will have everything. You will have everything. You will have it says International Congress Week. Go in there and write, or go in there and do the workout. I want tips for perfect posture while working out and dancing. That's amazing. Then you're at the right spot, Jessica, because that's exactly what I'm going to run over today. Great physical workouts, especially for dancers, beginners, as well as advanced dancers. Irvin, that's great. Knowledge about nutrition and tips about how to improve my dancing through workout. Fasting or fast and nutritional meal preparation tips. That you will know on Friday, I think it is. Friday or Saturday is when we're having that webinar. Anywho, moving forward. So that's amazing. That's amazing that you're at the right spot. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's just jump right into it. There are some things I want to run over. We're gonna have a little bit of seminar before, and then we're gonna move over to the side. I'm gonna do my best to keep you guys here on Facebook also, because you couldn't enter into Zoom. It would be a lot easier for me if you could come into Zoom, because I wasn't expecting to have this on all the time. So please come into Zoom. There are two different systems in your body that you need to be aware of and address when it comes to your training. All right? There is what's called anaerobic and aerobic types of training. We dancers usually need both. All right? Anaerobic training means that you're training with no oxygen. There is very little or no oxygen in your body. It's when you're going full out. Like, for example, if you're sprinting full speed, you're lifting to your fullest capacity, like you're lifting what's called a 1 rep max, which means for 1 repetition maximus. So it means that you're doing your fullest, you're using your entire strength to do one lift. For example, if you're doing a back squat, if you're doing a bench press, or if you're doing a deadlift, for example. All of these things we're going to run over later. So if you are doing the anaerobic, or for example, if you are dancing salsa, for all of us dancers, you're dancing, for example, Cuban salsa, and you're going super, super, super fast, and then by the end of the song, you're like, like when you're sprinting, you know Cuban salsa when it goes fast, like you're going crazy, crazy fast. That's when you're using the anaerobic system, because there is no oxygen coming to your body. Then we have the aerobic system. If you're using the aerobic system, it's like steady state. It's like if I'm doing jumping jacks, that's steady state cardio. If I'm dancing bachata, especially sensual, it's very like I can conversate while I'm doing it. I'm taking my time. If I'm doing kizomba, that's also steady state cardio. All right? Did those two make difference? Like you understood the difference of those two? It's very important. It's very, very important. We need to have those two when we're coming over in mind. All right? Then comes the question, right? Like your body doesn't really understand what type of exercise that's happening to it. Or it doesn't understand what type of exercise, but your body doesn't understand if it's training at home, training at the gym, training with lifting a chair, training with lifting water bottles. Your body is responding to what's called under stress. Your body is responding to under stress. If you're putting your body under stress, that's the only thing it understands. So with that being said, we need to fatigue our body and putting the right amount of stress under it. Not necessarily, okay, but Sebastian, because there are so many people, especially dancers now during lockdown, that are reaching out to me of, okay, Sebastian, should I buy a dumbbell, which is those short, smaller ones that you do biceps curls, for example, in? Should I do a dumbbell Should I buy a barbell? The barbell is the long one that you can do bench press with, put them on the back. Should I buy a kettlebell? Should I buy blah, blah, blah? Your body doesn't understand what it's using. Your body is responding to the total amount of stress that you put under it. So it doesn't really matter, champ. I personally suggest you get a kettlebell. We're gonna talk more about kettlebells later, and I'm gonna show you how you can use it and why I'm such a big proponent of it. But again, before we come into the best ways to train at home, there's just some basic fundamentals that I need you all to understand, all right? So when training strength training, there are some foundations. There are some foundations that we all need to understand. And there are like what's called principles. It's principles of training. You have progression, which means that if I lifted 5 kilos today or 5 repetitions, I did 5 squats, tomorrow I should do 6 or 5.5, or next week I should do 6, and then the week after I should again progress. I should progress forward. So just like when dancing, intermediate or beginner, intermediate, advanced, show team. Like, it's a natural progression of moving forward. That's the same thing with your muscles, because if I give you too much heavy weight on you, or you tell me, Sebastian, I'm gonna do 500 burpees today, and tomorrow I'm gonna do 600 because my goal is to look the best way I ever done before the end of the year. I'm gonna commit to doing that. You're going too hard on your body, so you need to add progression to it. Then you have my favorite, what's called specific. So this principle of specific training, which is why we have dance specific training, right? We're gonna talk more about that coming up very soon. But again, training specifically for you and your body and your goals. That's what this whole movement is based on. Our whole movement is based on that, right? The importance of training specifically for you. And that's what I said in the beginning. I don't care how you train. I just want you to feel good with you. And if you're having knee problems, we need to address that. So it's specific training for you. And that's one of the things that we're doing with our inner circle students. Like, that's like the number one thing that we're doing with our inner circle students. And honestly, like, each and every single one of you guys here, you have, since you joined, since you're taking your time, and if you want to get on a call with me and just have some tips, maybe your hip hurts when you train, or your knee hurts, if you want to get on a call with me or one of my team, there's going to be a link inside of the Zoom room. If you're on Facebook and can watch this, send me a private DM, and I'll gladly give it to you guys also. And I would love to address some of the things that are happening with you and your body, all right? Or for you to reach your goal faster. Let's run over rep range. When you're doing strength training in the gym right now, and you're gonna understand later why this makes sense, but I need to run over this. If you have rep range, you have the amount of reps you're doing. If you're doing 1 to 5 repetitions, let's say you're lifting as heavy, I'm doing this movement, right? I can only do between 1 to 5. I'm not doing that for me to grow my muscles, what's called hypertrophy. I'm doing that because I want to focus on strength. So strength training and hypertrophy is not the same thing. Hypertrophy is muscle building, aka bodybuilding. That's not the same thing. Strength, I'm talking pure, I want to be able to lift 200 kilos or whatever, how many pounds that is on my back. It's 1 to 5. All right, very important, 1 to 5 repetitions. After that, we have like a mix of strength and hypertrophy, which is from 6 to 8 repetitions. And I mean 8 repetitions And on my 8th repetition, I'm still using perfect form, which we're gonna run over soon. I'm using perfect form, and it's impossible for me to make the 9th repetition. Did that concept make sense? Yeah? Perfect. Then we have 9 to 12, which is basically strictly hypertrophy. You will get, of course, you will get some strength there also. And again, hypertrophy is muscle building. And then we have 13 all the way up to 20, 25, 35. That's for muscular endurance. All right? So we have those clear. And soon we're gonna stand up and stretch together and move a little bit. So we're gonna run over all these things. But I need to run over these foundations with you guys, all right? I need to run over these foundations. Then some of you guys are like, okay, I want to. So now we know the reps, right? Like we know the reps for strength and for endurance. But what if you strictly want to lose weight, right? Then we have different ways of seeing it. Few people are saying like, you guys probably heard this, I need to lose weight before that, I'm gonna go on a run. Or I need to lose weight before this, I need to go to the gym and just, walk on the treadmill. And that's steady state cardio. Steady state cardio, remember what we talked about in the beginning, bachata, kizomba, things that are not very heavy for you on your anaerobic capacity. It's aerobic. You can dance, you can move, you can talk. You won't necessarily burn a lot of fat while doing that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You will burn some, but a 2008 study actually said that if you're doing, so the 2008 study divided the group into two different groups. You had a bunch of people divided into groups and said, we want you guys to commit 16 weeks. Group A will do 60-minute steady state cardio 5 times per week. Group B will do 30 minutes of HIIT training 3 days per week for 16 weeks. 5 days, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 days. And what they found out was that the people that did the steady state cardio, they all burned around 500 calories per workout. Then the people that did per hour. But the people that did HIIT training, high intensity interval training, which means that they are going full out, anaerobic, full out, ta 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 ta, and relax, full out, and relax, full out and relax. They burned 200 calories for 30 minutes. Remember what I said now. HIIT training burned 200 calories for 30 minutes. Steady state burned 500 calories. Yeah, but Sebastian, you told us that HIIT training is better, right? Why are we doing HIIT training? Why are we doing HIIT training with that specific HIIT training if I'm burning more calories doing steady state? Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker with this. The people that did the HIIT training 3 days per week, 10 to 12 hours after the workout, they continuously burned fat. They continued to burn fat of something what's called EPOC, which is your post-oxygen consumption. The amount of oxygen, it's like the amount of oxygen that it takes to restore the body back to like its regular state. Just like it needs to replenish the energy system, it needs to like regulate your hormones again, especially if you're a woman, it needs to repair your muscles, all right? So it actually burned 50 calories per hour, or up to 50 calories per hour, all the way up to 12 hours. So it's not only the 30 minutes, the 200 calories that they burned in 30 minutes, So they actually burned up to 700 to 800 calories per day. All right, and that just continued. That continued. So by the end of everything, it was really clear. It was really, really clear that the people that the group B, the people that did 3 days a week HIIT training, they had burned so much more fat. They lost so much more fat than the other people. That made sense, right? Yeah, thumbs up if that made sense. I just want everybody to understand what we are doing, especially if you are like, okay, I'm gonna engage myself, I'm gonna engage my brain, because I don't want you to be here for 4 days. Like, I don't want you to be here for 4 days and then after on Sundays, like, okay, Sebastian, that was great. See you never. No, we still want you to be in the movement. We still want you to be here. Still want you to engage inside of the festival, or inside of the movement, not the festival. So some of the benefits of HIIT training is like insulin sensitivity, which is amazing for type 2 diabetes. One of my inner circle students had type 2 diabetes. After training with me for 12 weeks, her doctor came and said, he's like, I don't know what you are doing, but whatever you're doing, don't stop it. Continue doing this. And she had been on medication. She had been on all types of things. So it is not only one, we've shown that with several different students. It feels like dancing. It's another benefit. We are constantly dancing when doing the workouts. In the breaks, we're constantly dancing and moving. You're training the stabilization muscles, which are the small muscles in between here. So if you have a shoulder injury and you want to correct your posture, the stabilization muscles are really the ones that you need to work on, all right? You will increase your mobility and flexibility by doing all of these weird moves that I'm taking you with. Most of you did your workouts already. You saw the moves. It's not the regular push-ups and maybe squats, even if we're doing those things also. Fat loss, definitely. Muscle gains, definitely. Becoming a better dancer, definitely. And then, like I said, EPOC, keep burning fat after, reduce heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and all of that good stuff. I think that was all I wanted to run over with, like what is HIIT and what is the benefit of specifically dance-specific HIIT training. All right? Now, with all of this being said, who is ready to move a little bit? Who is ready to move a little bit? Shall we move? Perfect. Everybody stand up. Let's move around. I need to move my table a little bit. So we're gonna run over the perfect form. This way is optimal. This way is the optimal way for you to stay injury-free, stay stronger, being able to lift more in any position. If you manage to do this position and master this position, it doesn't matter what exercise you're doing. If you're doing it here, if you're doing dance-specific HIIT training, if you're doing Zumba, if you're doing CrossFit, if you're doing basic bodybuilding shit, it doesn't matter. If you master this form, anything you do from here on will help you to stay injury-free, all right? So here we go. First things first. Everybody, we stand like this, like we normally do. Roll your shoulders back. Now I'm over-exaggerating. Press your chest down and connect with your core. I'm not flexing my core. I'm connecting with my core. So I'm tense here. I have some type of tension here. And this move, that move from my hips to my shoulder, I keep this if I'm in this position, if I'm in this position, if I'm in this position, if I'm in this position. It's the same thing. If you only look at my hips to my shoulders, if I'm in this position, you see my body doesn't change. My upper body doesn't change. It's the same all the time. Right? That made sense, correct? Thumbs up if you're watching this on Zoom and that made sense what I just said. Perfect. So again, roll your shoulders back, chest goes down, connect with your core. Squeeze your glutes at the same time. Your glutes is a finer way to say ass. So connect with your ass also. So tense your ass a little bit. Now, this is very, very important, specifically for us dancers. Hips, knees, and ankles. They are in one straight line. So if I'm in this position, I can squat. Everybody help go with me and let's do 5 squats together. I want your hips, your knees, and your ankles to be in one straight line. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stay down here. So if you can see here, my hips and my shoulders, I'm bent forward, obviously, but I'm still in the same position. I'm still in the same position, so I'm still in a strong position. I'm still squeezing my glutes. I'm still tensing my core. We can stand up, everybody. I see it's getting heavy. That's the perfect form. If you can keep this form, you will stay injury-free. I promise you that much. Again, if we want to do lunges, I take a step back and my hips, my knees, and my ankles are still in one straight line. And from here we do 5 lunges, stationary lunges, only with the left leg forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Change. Now, I want us to do step back lunges. So we're taking a step back this time. Again, remember, the perfect form is not like this. It's like this. Your glutes are tight, your core is tight, your hips, knees, and ankles are in one straight line. Take the left foot back, and we do it continuously, back in, 5 repetitions. Let's go. 1, 2, from the side, 3, 4, last one, 5. Stay here, and if you can see, my hips to my shoulders looks exactly the same if I'm here, if I'm holding something on my back, if I'm here, if I'm here. Constantly the same position. It's constantly the same position. One more time. If I'm in this position, if I'm in this position, if I'm in this position, if I'm in this position. Because it's so important for us to remember, what are we moving? What part of the body am I moving? Here, I'm moving my biceps. Here, I'm moving my hips and my knees. So I'm not moving my arms. I'm not moving my upper body. Like, I'm not doing this. This is not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. So this part is still. And that's what I mean with perfect form. It's so important. It's so important for you to understand. If you master this principle, I promise you, the risk of you being injured is gonna decrease so much. Same thing when dancing. If you're dancing, whatever style you got, if you understand this concept, that when I'm stepping, my knees and toes are pointing. They're pointing in the same direction. Okay? Even if I'm cross-legged, my knee and my feet point in the same direction or point in the same direction. All right? These are things you need to put into your mind when training. All right? Do we have any questions on this before I move on? Any question on this before I move on? Write in the chat, speak it out loud. What if you're doing your hardcore hip hop? Yeah, I felt I just ran that over. And then again, look, hip hop, like I'm a hip hop dancer. So many times in hip hop we get in these positions. Like you get in these uncomfortable positions. But if you look at it, I'm making sure that I'm strong in this position. And that's why it's so important. It's so important for you to master the basics, to have a strong body, where you've been in this position, you've been in this position, you've been in this position. So when you are coming in hardcore hip hops, when doing popping, boom, bang, dunk, shkank, you need to be here, and you need to be strong here. You need to be strong here. Boom, boom, clank, clank, dunk, bang, shunk, ha. When you are in those positions, your body's strong enough to be there. That made sense, right? Like, we're preparing our bodies here, at home, in the weight room, in the dance studios. So when it's time to be doing a choreography, when it's time for us to do something strong, we have what we need, right? Our body is prepared for it. Let me see here, let me see. Livia is saying that this is making sense. That's fantastic. So here's the thing, right? Jessica is asking if hypertrophy is for muscular endurance. No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Hypertrophy is for muscle building. So everything from 13 to 20 repetition plus is for muscular endurance. Hypertrophy means building your body. But then comes the question. After this comes the question. Okay, Sebastian, cool, so I get it. But I can do more than you just told me, Sebastian. Now I know the perfect form. And I know how to train, I know how to stay injury-free. But we are in lockdown. We're in lockdown, so how on earth am I supposed to train? I want to be stronger. My goal was to be stronger. But you told me that in order for me to be stronger, I needed to do 1 to 5 repetitions. And then after you told me that if I wanted to have muscular endurance, I wanted to do 13 to 20 plus repetitions. But my goal is to be stronger. And I want to be stronger in my legs. So how on earth am I supposed to do this? I can't afford buying expensive weights. Like I don't got that money right now. I don't got that financial stability, or maybe I just don't want to. Perfect. Makes total sense, champ. So that means that you want to be stronger in your legs, but you are telling me that you can do more than 15 squats, correct? That's it. Perfect. So let's first of all assess some cheap options for you to train at home. All right? And these are all tools that you can get for yourself in order for you to grow. Can I get a bag of water, please, David? No, can I get that right there? So these are what you can get at home for yourself in order to add some weight, right? First things first, a resistance band. This is a resistance band that used to be a looped resistance band. This used to be connected, but it's broken. So maybe you have something like this laying at home. Perfect. So if I want to add some resistance, and if I want to do squats, for example, which was the first exercise we went through, I grab these ones, I take them over my neck. Now I have added resistance. So but I still want to keep the perfect form, right? Perfect. So I step on these ones. Then I do the perfect form position, roll my shoulder back, move the bands, squat down, step up. Squat down, step up. Already a little heavier. Then I can try them in different positions. Maybe I can try them with my hands up, squat down, change position. Maybe I try them with my hands here. So I become creative with what I got at home. Resistance bands for me is the #1 tool. It's easy on the joints. There's very little risk for you to get injured. You won't like damage your muscles too much. Very easy on the joints, like I said. After, you can grab anything that you have at home. Anything that you have at home that is heavy. This is 12 kilos. Perfect. Let's stick with the squats, shall we? Squats easy because that's where we started. If I'm here, same thing. Now all of a sudden, I have a 12 kilo weight. But Sebastian, you told me that I can reach any of my goals with body weight training only. Fantastic, champ. Here we go. Let's stick on the squat. I hope you guys are doing this with me. I hope if you're watching the replay, or if you're doing this live together with me, make sure to stand up and do it with me because I'm here sweating for you. So, again, any movement you can do, you can increase the level. We want to train our legs, correct? Level 1. Level 2. Level 2, sorry, this becomes level 2 now. Level 2. Level 3. Let me do it without the leg. Level 3, one more time. You can also do it with your leg forward, which is called pistol squats. Then you can do level 4. Go all the way down. It's totally okay to lose your balance. Level 4. And on and on and on. So there's so many ways to increase how hard it is. You can do the same with push-up. You can do the same with whatever. All right? Then we have what's called super slow training. I want you now to do 5 seconds down and 5 seconds up. 5 seconds down, pause, take a 2-second pause in the bottom, then go all the way up. On the way down, I want you to really focus mind to muscle connections. Squeeze your glutes, constantly squeeze your glutes. Make sure that your core is tight, your glutes is tight, and you're squeezing your legs at the same time, all right? 5 seconds down, pause for 2 seconds, then 5 seconds up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We hold. 1, 2. We go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just became a lot harder, didn't it? It just became a lot harder. Okay, but Sebastian, I'm a beast. I'm too strong for your technique. Your resistance bands and your super slow training doesn't work for me. Okay, cool. So let's combine everything. Take your resistance bands. Grab your water bottles. And let's go super slow one more time, shall we? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Round of applause for yourself, God damn it. Round of applause for yourself for training this hard. Everybody up in Facebook, the people live with us on Zoom. I think this makes sense, right? So the point I'm trying to make here, is that it's so important. It's so important for you to have to be creative. You need to be creative with all the things you have at home. All the things you have at home. You need to be creative and finding solutions because now you know the tools. You know super slow training. You understand the importance of progression. You understand the importance of training specifically for your dancing. You understand the importance of adding resistance to your dancing, constantly moving forward. And again, if you need any help with this, make sure to hit the link. It should be posted in the Zoom chat. Hit the link, book your call. If you're watching the replay, hit the link in the description and book your call also because everything is there for you. Now, if you don't have all of these things at home, I got one secret weapon. I got one secret weapon with you guys, and it's called isometric training. And it's absolutely brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Because remember now when we have all of this, now what we are doing is that we're taking away your excuses. We're taking away your excuses so you no longer can say, no, but I don't know how to train at home, or I don't have access to the gym, or I don't blah, 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 fill in the blanks. And this thing right here is showing us how to combine, I'm not gonna say all of it, but some of it. Because remember, you can do 10 repetitions of very slow, of super slow training. Then after you grab the water bottles, then you do 10 more. Then you put the water bottles down. Then you take the resistance bands and then you do as many as you can. Because again, your body doesn't know if you're doing, your body doesn't really know if you're doing 50 kilos of weight at home or 50 kilos of weight at the gym. Your body is responding to stress. You need to fatigue your body. All right? And same thing, to be honest with you, same thing really goes with your rep range. We ran over the rep range in the beginning because it's important. It's important in the sense of when you have weights accessible, you need to use that. But if you have all of these things at home, you need to push yourself to failure in order for your body to grow. All right? Thumbs up if that makes sense. People on Zoom are giving me thumbs up. People on Facebook is giving me thumbs up. Beautiful. International Congress for Home Training and Nutrition. I told you guys this wouldn't be easy. Here we go. Let's do isometric training. Isometric training is what's happening right now. We're gonna stand in a squat position. In a deep squat position. Look, this is deep squat. This is where I want you to be. Here, 90 degrees. Not up here. This, 90 degrees. We're gonna stand there for 45 seconds. And then we're gonna do 8 repetitions straight after. All right? Just 8 repetitions of regular squats. Nothing crazy. Remember that I said that I'm going to show you exactly how you can gain muscles, and people know that building muscles in the legs is the hardest thing. Building muscles in the glutes is the hardest thing to do at home. So let's use our friend isometric training. Here we go. If you're watching this at home, do it with me also. Here we go. 45 seconds. Follow my lead. 3, 2, 1. Deep squat position. Let's go. Boom. Here. We stand here and we consider our sins. We think about our lives. Don't put your hands on your knees. Hands here, hands in front, hands up top. Wherever you want them to be. 20 seconds has passed. We keep staying, keep staying. 30 seconds has passed. We keep staying down. Now it starts to burn. We are at 40 seconds. This made me consider, you know what? Let's go for a minute instead. 45 seconds, but we stay down, we stay down. Squeeze your glutes all the time. We have 5, 4, we're gonna do 8 repetitions. 3, 2, 1, 8 repetitions, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, add jumps if you have power. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Woo, shake loose a little bit. Shake loose a little bit. Now remember, if that was too easy for you, progression, use the principle of progression. Add your resistance bands in that case. Add your homemade weights in that case. Use the principles that I've learned, that I taught to you guys here today. All right? Let's move back to the sitting part. Let's move back to the sitting part. Let's sit down a little bit. All right. I know you felt that. I know you felt that last part. Isometric training. Then combine it, and do it in different position. Do it in different position. Do it with your push-ups. Do it with your jump squats. Do it with your hip bridges. Do it with your biceps curls. Just stand here, hold them here for 1 minute, and then do curls. There are so many different ways for you to shock your body, to move forward. It's just you gotta be aware of it, and you gotta use a little bit of creativity also. That's the thing. And we dancers, so many of us are dancers, right? And we are so creative. We're so creative when it comes to being on the dance floor. So solution driven when it comes to like training, or like not training, but like taking care of other people. So solution driven when we come to our work. If like I have students, right? Like I have some students, and when they start with me, it's a test I do. I don't tell them, but it's a test I do. So I create their programs. If you're in my inner circle, I create your meal plan. I create your training programs. I create everything specifically for you and your needs, right? And I have my own application. I bought my own application a couple of years ago, so I can see everything that's happening. So I can track your training. For you, you do your training in there. We can do video calls in there. You take your before and after photos in there. We chat in there, so I can write to you if I see that you didn't do your training, right? Everything for me to hold you accountable. And my inner circle students, what I do is that I give them 4 weeks of training. I give them 4 weeks of training, and just a hint for anybody who's watching. If you have a trainer and the trainer gives you 12 weeks of training, if you're buying a training program and the person gives you 12 weeks of training, the person is or a god or guessing of your progress. And I mean, I bought 12-week programs before that was fantastic. I'm also actually selling 12 weeks program, but I'm drawing an assumption. I'm drawing an assumption of like, okay, if you're following this program exactly, 10 weeks from now, you will be here somewhere, and then from there we move, you should do this. But if you're in my inner circle, it's one-on-one coaching. So I'm upgrading it every 4th week. Same thing with your meal plan. Because remember, the principle of progression that we talked about. Your body is moving, your body is changing, so we need to change accordingly, right? So what I do is that after those 4 weeks, not necessarily in the first 4 weeks, but like after if you stay with me longer than 4 months, there will be days that I don't give you a training program. I don't give my students a training program. Because there's a reason why I call them my students. I don't say clients. My students should know what they should do after training together with me for X amount of weeks. if there is no training in their program. Because you would move and you would act if you arrive to work and, okay, my boss is not here. Where is my assignment? I have no assignment. Okay, what should I do? You should find a solution. You don't say, okay, my boss is not here, I don't have an assignment, fuck it, I'm going home. That's not what you're doing. You're saying, okay, cool, I need to find a solution here. I'm gonna work for 8 hours, so I don't know, let me email somebody, let me call somebody, and just find a solution. And the same thing goes with your training. You're a student of that specific training. So I want you to learn how to train at home. I want you to take ownership in your training. So if you don't have a training program, it's like a test I do. And it's like, we have done the same workouts every Tuesday for the last 4 weeks. What do you think you should do? It's Tuesday. What do you think you should do? You don't need to be dependent on me. That's not what this coaching is about. My inner circle is not about people being dependent on my coaching. In the beginning, yes, but after a while, I want you to fly. You know what I mean? I want you to be able to fly alone. Because the biggest mistake a trainer can make, and this is very few, I'm no trainer, I'm a coach, big difference. But most trainers, and this very, very few people will tell you this, very few coaches and trainers will tell you this, that if you're with me, and you're with me for a year plus, that means 1, I failed, or 2, you really love me. If you really love me, that's fantastic. If you really love me, I mean, that's amazing. I love you too, you know what I mean? Make no mistake. But I want you to be able to stand alone after a while. I have students that have been with me for over a year, make no mistake. But it's because I'm constantly challenging them. But I want you to be able to stand on your own feet after some time. I want you to learn this. And it's the same thing. This is why we did a seminar first, and then we are practicing it in the flesh. All right? And if you're on Facebook, come over to Zoom. Come over to Zoom next time. And next time is tomorrow. Correct? The next time tomorrow. Wait, let me triple check. There's a lot of things happening in my life, guys. I'm doing my absolute best to manage all of it. But next time is on Friday. Sorry, Friday 7 p.m. is when we have the next seminar. Friday, everything is written in the Facebook group. Friday, we have a seminar, and the title of it, How to Get Sustainable Lifestyle Changes and Have a More Confident Mindset. Same link. Maybe not the same link. I'm going to post the link in the Facebook group, so before I say too much, the link will be posted in the Facebook group, but same time. Same time as today. 1 hour and 5 minutes ago is when it's going to start on Friday. All right? Everybody, put on your cameras, goddammit. I need to see some people. And if I don't see sweat in your foreheads, that means that you are cheating. That means that you were cheating. I need to see some sweat in those foreheads. Here we go. Yo, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. Aight. Nobody wants to turn on your cameras. We shy now. Aight. People, thank you so much for being here. Remember, as always, buy dancers for dancers. Book your call if you have any questions, and I see you very, very, very soon. Take care, Carl. Raluca, you're awesome. Luz, and your grandchild is beautiful. See you very soon. Irvin takes out. Jessica, Christine, Dave, Francesco, Gulsa, Ekbas. Take care, everybody. See you soon. People on Facebook, see you soon. Tomorrow, there will be another workout posted. Make sure to comment. Post your selfies. Don't be shy. We're a movement here. Take care, everyone.